Okay. Hey, Daniel. Let me go over your writing with you and help you improve it a little bit. I'll give you a little bit of feedback. The first thing I want to give you feedback on is you need to separate out the paragraphs with a block. I'm assuming that this short line right here and this longer line right here, that's a new paragraph starting right here, and I'm assuming that starting right here is a new paragraph. If that's true, actually put a line space between there, okay? It'll be easier for me to see. Um, the so I'm going to read this through and I'm going to give my comments. It says, when I was in first grade, my teacher was teaching us English. My mom told my teacher that we needed to go to Mexico because my cousin was going to have her 15th birthday. Say quinceañera, okay? That there's no reason not to use the Spanish word for there, okay? Her 15th birthday, and my big brother was one of the dancers, okay? So this is indirect dialogue. Your mom is not talking. You're just saying what your mom said. So you need to put it in dialogue. For example, you could say, when I was in first grade, my teacher was teaching us English. One day my mom came in and said, colon, new paragraph, or new par or and then put, hey, Miss So and So, we have to go to Mexico because my oldest son is in a quinceañera. Um, and then punctuated correctly, and then new paragraph. The teacher, oh, that's okay. That's okay. Just let me know, or I'm looking forward to him returning to class when you get back. Okay, or whatever my teacher said. So that's going to be a new paragraph. So I don't want the indirect dialogue. I want you to actually dialogue it out the way it was said. Okay. The next day, so use a transition here. Use a time transition. The next day, we drove to Mexico when we were Mexico. Period. When we were in the house of my grandma, we went to my grandmother. We went to my grandma and grandpa's house. Mom put me in school so I wouldn't lose any information. How long were you there for? For your mom to put you in school, how long were you actually in Mexico for? It had to be more than a day or two, but I don't know the time frame. Okay, how many grades were you there for? One or two grades or three grades? Okay, so let me know, or just a few months. Okay, so you need to fill in some information here, important information. And then it says, uh, so I wouldn't lose any information. When I was in the teacher told the class. Okay, the first day of school. Okay, you're gonna change this up. The first day of school, I stood up and told the class the name, my name in Spanish. Okay, so you're gonna reword this here. It's a little odd. When I was there, I felt alone in the school with no friends, and I missed my old school and normal life. I like that, but I'm going to talk about your color coding in a second. Why? Why did you feel all alone? Did you not know Spanish very well? If you didn't know Spanish or very well, or you didn't know it as well as the other kids, is that why you felt alone, and is that why you didn't have any friends, or was it just the fact that you didn't know anybody there? So let me know. And fill that information in. It says, when I was in my grandma and grandpa's house, I was sitting in the sofa and I was thinking that I forgot my English and I missed my friends. Okay, so you could say something like, the longer I stayed at my grandma and grandpa's, I forgot more English. I forgot more English, and I also forgot my friends. It says, when my mom told my grandma and grandpa that we were leaving, we were going to Las Vegas, I rushed to the car. This, once again, is not dialogue. Okay, you're telling me what your mom said, but you actually have to have your mom say it. It needs to be its own paragraph, okay? So put that actually in the spoken word. Like your mom goes to your grandma, hey, we're taking off for Las Vegas. Oh no, please don't go, right? I'm sure your grandma was not happy. Okay, I rushed to the car. I was excited. Okay, that's fine. It says, when it was the next day, I went to school and saw all my friends and my teacher. Oh, so it sounds like you were only there for a couple months because you came back to the same classroom and the same teacher. Okay, I'm assuming. I'm not sure. When I passed grade, my teachers show us English and Spanish, so I can't lose my English or my Spanish. So when my family talk to me in Spanish, so I can't answer them in English. Okay, you need to read your own writing and fix it so it sounds correctly, because you don't talk like this. Okay, but you have blue in a couple different spots, and you should only have blue here. It's okay if your red is mixed in, but your blue needs to be in its own reflection. I think what you're saying here is you're going to have to tell me how you change. You need to be very explicit. Even though I was only in Mexico for a couple months or for 3 months or whatever it is, I realized the importance of knowing both Spanish and English. Um, it's important for me to know English so I can communicate with my friends in in the United States, but it's also important that I understand Spanish. But I changed because now I know the importance of understanding Spanish so I can communicate with my family and my friends in Mexico. Okay, or whatever. So you're going to have to explain how it changed you in some way, and I'm assuming it changed you because you know both languages fluently, so you can function in both worlds. Um, both worlds. What I mean by that is both your world of Spanish speaking friends and family and your world of English speaking friends. Okay, so be more explicit about that. Not a bad reflection, it just needs some work. Okay, I know where you're going with it. So your color coding. Number one, your dialogue needs to be direct dialogue. So you need to fix it up and make sure it's punctuated correctly. Look at some of the other people's dialogue. Um, Make sure it's in its own paragraph, and make sure that someone's actually speaking. You're not just saying what they said. Um, the red should be how you think and how you feel. You have a bunch of red that has nothing to do with how you think and feel. You attempted to mark it up, which is good, but you didn't quite get it there. Okay, so the red is only how you think and feel. Okay, the blue should be your reflection. We've already talked about that. Your reflection goes at the very end, and I've already mentioned how you can make that better. Okay, but pretty good first draft. I just want you to tell me, how long you were there, why you felt out of place, and why you felt you didn't have any friends in school, and fix your little reflection piece down here. Okay. All right. Good job and good luck.